Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Far Lands or Busts. This is episode 316. And we are continuing, as ever, to the Far Lands in a westward direction here. It is also... Oh, Wolf! Yes, hi, Wolfie. In the real world here, it is Friday, January 17th, 2014, as we continue on. Indeed. We have, and we continue to raise, that's the word of the episode, continue. We continue to raise money for Child's Play charity, along with this walk-a-thon over at farlandsorbust.com. We received one donation, but somebody donated $300. A single donation of $300, bringing us to $168,908.61. We're at $608 last episode, so that's crazy. Thank you, anonymous individual or organization. It didn't really quite specify who donated $300 since the last episode. I am amazed and impressed and inspired by your generosity. And continuing on, I should really replace my pickaxe, my shovel, and my axe, because they are all about to break. So let's do that in the coming moments, perhaps. Perhaps at the end of the episode when I have a whatchamacallit, a crafting bench down and ready to craft such things as these. And boop. Gathering some more wool and continuing on. Something else I noticed just before I launched the world, even though it's the built-in Minecraft world save size thingamabob isn't very accurate, which is why they got rid of it in recent versions of the game. But it used to tell you how large your world save was. We just passed 10,000 megabytes. We're at 10,009.15 is what it's reading. So not technically, I know, 10 gigabytes, but numerically anyway, we've added another 0 to the end of that number. So 10,000 megabytes of a world save here in Far Lands or Bust, and all we've been doing is walking in one direction. You can look at the page of the map page on farlandsorbust.com and see from the beginning up until the end of Season 3, when I pressed F3 at 699492, you can see that map, and it's just a skinny little wobbly line, and that's pretty impressive that we're able to, without really... Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Careful, Wolfie, as I push him in. Okay, maybe not as dramatic as I thought, but kind of a shaft down into the nothingness. But yeah, still kind of amazing that we can achieve such a large world size save file size from just doing that. Indeed. So... Oh yeah, I mentioned in the last episode that with everything going on, I would like to get back into the swing of things, which is why we had an episode on Wednesday, and now it's Friday, we're having another episode. I wanted to get back into the swing of episodes of Far Lands Bust and other things on my channel, and things are coming up on the weekends that are preventing me from scheduling a flobathon, so we can update our F3 number and eventually, hopefully, maybe update the map on the website. It seems like I just did that, but it's been a while. That was kind of a pain. I had help from a Farlander fan with that, but it was kind of a pain. I might have to look at some additional options beyond that. But yeah, I'm looking to schedule a flobathon, and I mentioned, by the time my weekends get free, it's almost going to be March, and March 6th is the anniversary when I started in 2011, the first episode of my Let's Play. When I haphazardly decided, I went out and bought a microphone headset, bought a copy of Fraps, and decided I'm going to start uploading video game content to YouTube for funsies. And I edited it in Windows Movie Maker. Fun times, fun times. We can make this jump. Yes, we can. Can Wolfie? No. Of course not. You know, that was 2011. So I figured maybe I should just wait till around that time. And I realize I forgot to specify. March 6th this year falls on a Thursday. So obviously I'm not going to be holding the event on a Thursday. But I was thinking the weekend before is March 1st. So maybe that weekend, still just tossing wet noodles on the wall to see if they stick. Wow, that's an analogy. That was a dangerous thing to do. Wolfie, just spawn over here, will you? Because you're never going to make that. Yep, hi. Good job. Well done. So yeah, that, tentatively looking at that. I'm gonna continue considering that. Of course, by continuing to consider it and not making any actual plans, it's looking like that is a good time frame anyway. That's how I work. I am a procrastinator. So yeah, very cool things indeed happening, and yeah, I'm very, very happy that people are still motivated to donate to Child's Play charity, and that $300 donation just the past couple days is amazing, amazing indeed. So, what did I want to talk about? Yesterday I talked a lot about, the other day, on Far Lines of Bust, I talked about Flobathon stuff, I talked about, what else did I talk about? I should keep that stuff in my notes. I forget what I talk about. Like the Hobbit movie and hot lava and stuff like that. Today, speaking of the new year and, well, now that the first month of the new year is over, almost over, talking about, I mentioned how this year might be the year where I decide to build a new computer to assist in the ever-expanding YouTube video game-ness that I am hoping to continue doing. I'm surprised it's lasted this long, to be honest with you. I must have spit on my monitor because there's now a little squidge. There we go. I'm surprised it's lasted this long. Hopefully it'll last longer, and I will do so by expanding my possibilities and my capabilities. So, might be new computer year. Also might be new car year, vehicle year. Even though working at home, I don't use my vehicle as much, so maybe not the most prudent of choices. But my car, I have an older, not older. Well, actually, spooky noises. This year, becoming 10 years old. So yeah, kind of a senior as far as vehicles are concerned. Chevy Cavalier, your basic, literally basic. I have manual windows and locks. It's a two-door. What? That's my philosophy. What do you need automatic windows and locks for if you can just reach over in a two-door and pop the lock yourself or whatever? Oh, that was a terrible dismount, Wolfie. Terrible dismount. I'll have to feed him over here on this shoreline. But it's getting up there. I had a few problems I mentioned before. Cylinder kept shutting down, and the mechanic could never figure out why, and spent some money trying to fix that, and then it popped up again, so I feel like that money was probably not, not the thing that could have fixed it. But it hasn't done that in a while, and just little random things. The interior, little cheapo plastic interior panels are starting to warp and pop off, and kind of... There's a one on the A-pillar that's just kind of hanging there now. It's kind of annoying. It's a cheap American car, It was all I needed, and it actually has done decently. It had a problem at one point where the dials, the gauges, were broken. Like, they would... it started with the tachometer. The tachometer was like 4,000 RPM too much. So it would actually spin around past the red line and like do a 360 while I was driving. Not, I have an automatic transmission, not that I necessarily need that, but that's an interesting problem to have. And then the fuel gauge started to read the wrong fuel, which is a problem. And then the speedometer went, and it was showing I was going like 130, even though it was just like in my driveway. So that had to get replaced. Of course, past the warranty. So that was fun. And that's apparently a frequent problem with the Cavaliers, is a lot of people have problems where the gauge cluster goes, so I had to have that replaced. Little things like that. But anyway, it's an old car, so I'm thinking a new car. So new car discussion when we continue in the morning. And a cow's nest. Yes, look at you. Keep me awake. How you doing? Woof. Let's get away from these cows. So yeah, I've been looking at newish cars. And I probably would get a new car. New cars don't seem to be the best investment per se. This one I got new. It was technically a good deal, and all the car I really needed. But yeah, I've been looking around. I know I've had this discussion before. I think the previous year I've said maybe this year will be new car year, but never happened apparently. But I've been looking around. I'm very impressed, and everybody who I've ever known who has owned a Subaru seems incredibly happy with it and its reliability and the quality of the build and whatnot. So I was looking at oh, that's lava over there, definitely lava. So I was looking at Subaru, and I've been looking just in general at hatchbacks. They just seem a little bit more useful for things, and perhaps I was thinking about that back when I did a lot of astronomy, and perhaps I'd like to get back into astronomy because a two-door compact coupe like the Cavalier is a little bit difficult to load and unload your sensitive telescopic equipment, your Dobsonian telescopes. Oh, that was another thing that happened, I suppose. Not so good news, but John, I believe his name was John. Was it John? John Dobson, I think that's his name, who invented the Dobsonian telescope, a type of telescope mount, really grab-and-go type of almost everybody, I suppose, uses it now. Passed away. He was like in his 80s or something like that, just the other day. So that was news. Random. But yeah, a hatchback seems like it would be very useful for that. So I was looking at the Impreza, or Impreza, depending on how you say it. All-wheel drive would be nice as well, with all the snow we're having in Chicago. Or it might be cheaper just to move instead of buying a new car based around that. So, been looking at that. They're kind of a little bit expensive for a hatchback, but also, that's the all-wheel drive. Also hard to find. They're in very high demand. Also hard to find, which is strange and interesting. But been looking at those. They are a little bit underpowered. They've changed the model year in 2011, I believe it was, to a new body style and engine and transmission. And I think they used to be 160 horsepower. Now they're like 148. And my Cavalier, at least when it was new, was 140. And I don't see that extra 8 horsepower being able to lug around the extra 2 doors and hatchback and all-wheel drive transmission system. Oh, you there. Provide more food for Wolfie. Ooh, that guy took 3 hits. And he left no residue. So yeah, thinking about that, I kind of like the design. I kind of like the old design. Nobody really liked the old design. The previous 2011 design. I kind of liked it. It was kind of sporty looking and rugged, but the new design is a little bit more tamed, I suppose. But I don't know. I was thinking about that. It's got good gas mileage because it has, yes, I would get the CVT, the automatic, constantly variable transmission, because it gets like 38 miles to the gallon. Pretty crazy, but it also has like which is kind of weird. I would be curious to test drive it and see how this works. It has an automatic manual toggle, and it has flappy paddles on the wheel. I don't know how that works. It probably just simulates with the CVT by changing the ratios on the fly, an actual quote-unquote gearbox. But that's interesting, so I was looking at that. They also make the XV Crosstech, which is quite literally the Impreza body, but lifted and into a more off-road. There's a lot of lava pools today. It's suspicious at you, Minecraft, trying to singe my feet. It's kind of like an off-road-ish crossover version of the Impreza, but it has like the same engine, and it loses that miles per gallon because of the extra weight and the height, and I could foresee that being underpowered as well, so I don't know that I'd go for that. But there's also, at the recent car shows, they announced the next WRX, which everybody thought was going to be just like a whole new platform, but it's still based on the current Impreza platform, and people have been unimpressed by it, and I wouldn't need a WRX. Too expensive, and the insurance on those are through the roof, because they're, for the most part, owned by reckless... reckless young whippersnappers. No, I don't know, but yeah, for that reason, the insurance is always expensive on a WRX, but... so there's that, but then I've also... The VW Golf, the GTI in particular, you can get one for about the same price as an Impreza. Front-wheel drive, obviously, but a little bit more power, a little bit more stylish, I suppose. There's also, obviously, the Golf R, but that, again, similar to the WRX, too expensive. That's all-wheel drive, but too expensive and probably unnecessary for my personal needs. As somebody who rarely goes out, it's kind of careful, Wuffy. It's kind of a strange balance you have to take. As somebody, I play a lot of racing games. I enjoy vehicles and cars. You kind of want like a fun car, but really, how often are you going to have fun with it within the confines of the law and being safe? So there's always a little bit of a balance to go with that. I know Mazdas are popular as far as the hatchback, the three-speed or whatever they call it, Mazda Speed. I've never been a fan of the styling of Mazdas. Same with the Fords, the Fiestas, Focus, are nice hatchbacks. I hear they always get good reviews, but I've never liked the styling. They're like those pointy lines, they're alien, and I went like 3 or 4 years ago to the Chicago Auto Show and sat in the Fords, and like the interiors are all like that too. It's like sitting in the cockpit of a alien spacecraft, and no likey. I did not. That is not a place I would like to be. Where did I get these sticks from? Oh, the boat that broke. All right, so let's continue on here. So yeah, car talk. Woo! I'm losing my audience, that's for sure. What else was I looking at? The same thing with I also on that car show sat in it was new that year, the Hyundai Veloster is a hatchback, and it's also like an alien spaceship, and I'm like, what is going on here? It also had like 0 rear visibility. Oh, that was something I also sat in, was the Volvo C30, which I don't think they're bringing to the US anymore. They've just stopped making. It was like the perfect car, what I was exactly looking for, but it's a Volvo, and those are expensive, and apparently repairs on those are expensive as well, and so that was no go either. So it's just problems. I'm probably not gonna buy a new car this year. Is basically what this is coming down to. Yeah, and like I don't know that I would go for another Chevy. They have the Sonic Aveo or whatever they're calling it this year, which is their hatchback. But again, it's your basic little tiny car, front wheel drive, economy car. It's the car you get at a rental car place when you pick the lowest price rental car. I don't know. The BRZ, the Subaru BRZ, which is also Toyota and Scion, have the same car but named different. Seems very nice and seems like a cool enthusiast car, but it doesn't. It's not really practical. It's very small too, I've heard, and I don't know if I would fit very well in there. I like the 2-door cars, which is another reason I'm a little bit flinching at the Impreza, because it's only available as a 4-door configuration. Because for whatever reason, coupes, I'm a fan of the coupes. So I don't know. Maybe I don't. The Chicago Auto Show is actually happening again next month, February. So I don't know. It gets really crowded. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll go again just to like sit in all these different cars to see. The problem with the Chicago Auto Show is that by the time it happens, the Detroit, the LA, the Japan, and there's a European one that's very popular. Those are all the main auto shows that like the manufacturers announce all their new models. So nothing really exciting happens at the Chicago Auto Show. It's just kind of like, here's all the cars we already announced and everybody's already seen and reviewed, but here they are. You can sit in them for a little bit. Even though it's like billed as the world's largest auto show. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. Who knows? That requires going into Chicago, which is always an adventure. So yeah. Car Talk here with Kurt J. Mack and Far Lands or Bust, episode 316. Mark this one down as one you'd like to remember and come back to in a few years when we're continuing to the Far Lands. No! I was meaning to save that boat, but it broke. Let's make another elevated hidey hole and sleep. And then maybe I can try to find some of these donor questions. People who donated to Child's Play charity can leave questions in the comments box. Yes, I will sleep on the block of dirt. And we might answer some of those. Ooh, check out that landscape. How nice of you for generating. And max out the microphone-ness. Because I was too close. Too close, man! Let's check out this kind of little area over here since we broke our boat. After we try to get Wolfie some more food. Excuse me. This is the guy you want to hunt. Yep. Well done. Yoink. Boop. Alright, we've got our stock of 4 bones. Let's check out this area. Here is a question. Ooh, I haven't done this in a while. From Pira from Germany. Do you still own something from your early childhood, like a toy, stuffed animal, etc.? Not that I, like looking around my room, not that I really come into contact with on a daily basis. I know in the crawl space, the basement kind of thing I have here, storage, my parents gave me a box of memorabilia, and included in that is what I'm told, I have no recollection of it, but what I'm told is my first stuffed animal, which is a stuffed koala bear. So apparently that was with me whence I was a small little Kurt J. Macklet. Kurt J. Macklet sounds like some sort of breath mint. And so apparently, you know, that's somewhere down there over the rainbow. And so yeah, not, you know, I'm not really that sentimental, to be honest. And I've tried to recently, and I need to get back on this this kick of trying to get rid of clutter and things. Well, yes, and I still have kept that. It's nice. What am I going to do with it? I'm not going to like frame it, or I'm speaking of the stuffed koala, or you know, it's not some sort of prized artifact or anything. So Wolf, yeah, well, like Wolfie is. He's like, I'm a prized artifact. How dare you? How dare you speak ill of nostalgia and memorabilia? So yeah, but yeah, not really. Oh, I suppose sitting on my counter over there, I'm not sure how I came about them, but I have a little action figure C-3PO and R2-D2 out of the box. They are no longer collectibles, but they are from the original release, like the original series, the original movies. Like, they are the old school. I don't know if I'm sure they're worth something, but out of the box and well worn, well played with. The R2-D2 has little, you know, instead of actually having little things around its body, it's pretty much a cylinder with a sticker on it. The sticker is kind of peeling off a little bit, but I have that, so those are kind of cool. But I don't know when or how I came about those, because I was born in 1982. I'm I'm not really of the generation that grew up with the original Star Wars franchise, so that's that. So that's all I really have. So thank you for the donation in question, I suppose. Ooh. I don't know why this seems suspicious. Suspect! Wow, I can't even hit that block. Woof! Let's see here. Woof! A lot of these questions are outdated. I gotta look through this. Maybe, perhaps, hey, in the comments, which actually, the comments are I haven't crossed over. I haven't attached my channel with Google Plus yet, so I can't. Maybe I shouldn't say this. While I know for a while I had the comments disabled. I just re-enabled them out of sheer laziness on my channel since they changed the whole Google Plus integration. Because I haven't linked my Google Plus, I don't quite have the full control over my comments that I normally do. So they're kind of there. I can't reply. I can't do much with them. So I was going to ask people to leave comments with questions, but in general, there's a lot of them that end up hidden because they're marked or viewed as spam, and I can't unhide them because I don't have control over my comments section. So, still broken, and I know quite a few people still have their comments disabled even, so thanks, YouTube! Thanks, YouTube. Indeed. I'm trying to think. Ooh. Interesting. Trying to think. Quick, think of things to talk about. I just did, oh yeah, I could mention, some people maybe don't pay attention to the subscription feed. Started a new series called Tiny Brains, that's the name of the game, with Pause on Pause, as well as LD Shadow Lady, and I am Cheeb. Careful, Wolfie! And we got up to episode 3, but that's when Pause had some serious issues with flooding in his basement, and has been having issues. I think that's obviously probably where he records and has all of his computing equipment and stuff. So he's had some serious issues with that. So A, show your support for Pause and patience with Pause for getting back up and running. But that's why we kind of got to episode 3. Ooh, that'd be a nice place for a house, just smack in the middle of this little canyon. Is that, oh, what? That's like a solid wall. You so crazy, Minecraft Beta 173 in your terrain generation. It's very nice little area. And a creeper, of course. Always the creepers messing up the view. So yeah, we started that, and then earlier today I had a kind of a first look at a new game it still is called Strike Vector, out in beta. It caught my eye because it looks a lot like Hawken, and I liked Hawken for a while, until I stopped liking it. And so I tried that out, and maybe you should check that out. I'll probably put that in the links and the end slate here. Just giving a little bit of an update on the channel's goings on. Now I'm too far away from the microphone. I was scared that I was too close, and now I was too far. What else? Spooky noises, that's what else. And spoilers. And zombies. Meh. I can't see it, therefore it doesn't exist. That is the way we... Ooh, oh! I was like, what is going on here? I thought somebody had, like, pillared up to get out, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not in a multiplayer server. That is a very well-hidden spawner. Because I can see that, I feel like I should check that out. This would be a good opportunity to break this pickaxe. Oh, it seems like a skeleton spawner. That could be problems. Whoop, there it goes. Alright, now let's... I feel like I'm gonna have to spend the night here. Hi, Wolfie. Sorry. Oh, no, I have a... Dang it. You're... well, let's make a shovel while I'm at it, I guess. Excitement. Woof. Wolfie agrees with the excitement. Boop. Hi. Why don't you... Ding dong! UPS delivery. Alright, there it is. I believe this is the wall I'm going to be running into, is it not? Yeah. Whoa! Hi, how are you? Alright, take it easy, everybody. Just calm down. Stop! Whoa! They're angry. They're very angry. Oh, now they're shooting each other. Wolfie, why don't you... Yeah, just sit. I don't need you spawning and teleporting up into the spawner. Hi. This is a predicament. Maybe what I... Whoa! Oh, maybe I shouldn't use the diamond sword of spawn pointing. Ow, I've gotten shot. No, Wolfie. No, Wolfie. Wolfie. No. Okay. I'm picking up arrows. Let's maybe this is too much. Too much for us to handle. Wolfie. You're going to come with me, right? No, he still wants to take that guy out. Alright. We're calling this op off. He's still going after that skeleton. Let's get out of the area. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I kind of knew that would happen. Yep, still going after the skeleton. You are not going to forget that guy. Oh, and the sun's going down. We need to get away from this area. Let's kind of strafe a little bit, and hopefully he forgets. Otherwise, it's going to be very interesting to be dealing with a wolf who's constantly trying to run away. Have you forgotten? I think he's forgotten. This whole area is a little bit dangerous. That's dark, and there's zombies. Oh, good gravy. All right, let's get out of here. This whole place is no good. No good, I say. Alright, this place is good. Oh, no, it's not. It's very dark over there. Let's make our hidey hole in the side of this mountain. Sit. Well done. Yeah, I guess this'll do. Hopefully it's solid underneath us and I don't just fall through if it's a floating island. Woof! Wolfie agrees. Let's put some torches out. Hopefully things don't spawn upon us. And let's block ourselves in. Very nice. And try to... No. Oh, this is all going wrong. All because you had to explore that skeleton spawner that really would have gotten us nothing good. Nothing good at all. It's just brought misery and pain. Where are these guys? Alright, I feel like I'll probably be safe from things spawning in here when I sleep. Yeah, probably. Those might just be spawning out on the surface. Moss cobblestone. Let's do that. Let's make a couple beds and an extra block in there for some reason. Bling bong bling. Boop. Well done. We've got an extra shovel. I suppose we can make an extra axe while we're at it. I'm gonna axe you a question about your extra axe, and then burp while I axe it. And then use the rest of these to make some torches. Oh, my inventory is getting over encumbered. All right, let's break this. And then let's go to sleep and end this episode. Episode 316, kind of a weird ending. Ran out of things to talk about. Ran into a skeleton spawner. Wolfie got distracted, so we had to get out of there. And now we're kind of a little bit scared about our sleeping situation. But hopefully everything is all good. And I do appreciate, of course, that one person, or whoever, donated $300 in one donation there since the last episode. Thank you very much. You can keep donating at farlandsbus.com. And quick, give me things to talk about. I'm running out. It took 316 episodes, but I'm finally grasping at straws here. So I do appreciate you for following along and watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.